Hello, everyone. Instead of sending the video from today's Zipform training, I thought I'd kind of weed it down a little bit and just go over and do a quick tutorial video on what we talked about and some of the important things that we learned today. So the first thing that you're going to do when you come into Zipforms, I want everyone to check their profile and settings. So you're going to go to Me, and then you're going to click Profile and Settings. And that's where I am now. You can verify that all of your information is correct. If you were ever in another office besides Keller Williams, you might want to just verify that this information is correct. This will pop up on every form that is created in Zipforms, so you want to make sure that's accurate. So I know I had to change mine from when I was previously at another company. The other thing that you want to go to is your settings. So it should look like this, where you have ZipLogic Digital Ink 2.0. So if it says anything else, I recommend this one. This one to me is superior to the others. And then you want to make sure it says Central Time Zone. For some reason, they have us defaulted to GMT. So make sure you fix that so your timestamps don't show up as 2 o'clock in the morning or what have you. Okay, and then you can go through some of these other settings and make sure that you have everything else up to date in here. So, okay. So the main bulk of what we worked on today was creating template folders. So it will consist of the template of the document itself. So if you use the, just to kind of show you what we're doing, let's say I'm going to start a new offer to purchase. We're going to come in here. Let's say I'm in my dashboard. Oops. Create a new transaction. And we're going to say it's a new offer to purchase. Once I have the templates created, when you're creating a new one, you're going to name it. And then you're going to select that it's residential. And then you're going to apply a template. So let's say it is a residential property. It does not have a well and septic, so I'm going to select this one. What this will do is bring in all of the documents that I have in that template so that I don't have to go and find each one. So it really makes it easy. It'll take you probably about a half an hour to create all these, but it'll be so worth it because it'll save you time every time you create a new offer or a new listing. So I certainly recommend following along and doing this with me. So if you go to templates, which is up here, and then you're going to click on new. These are the ones that I've already created. Let's do, we're going to do a new offer to purchase. And I'm just going to do test so that I can delete this later. Now, I recommend selecting this option. Do not automatically apply this template to new transactions. The reason that we're going to select this option is because you're going to have multiple offer folders. You're probably going to have a condo, a vacant land. You might want to split it, your listings up by whether or not you're going to have the addendum S stuff in there. I mean, you could really do as many templates as you need, and why not do a bunch of them? I also in the past have used this specifically for when I work with the same investor over and over again. I have an investor template with his name on it so that you don't have to bring in the ABA each time and stuff like that. So this can be really helpful in saving you some time if you really think about your needs and how to customize these folders for yourself. So once you have created the new folder, there are no documents in here yet. you're going to go to Add Doc. If the document is a Wisconsin State form or an RENW form, the form is going to be under Add Form. And then you can search for that form. So let's say offer, residential offer, WB 11, I believe. Okay, so we're going to pull that form up. This is where you're going to go to find everything. This is both libraries. It's super easy. Make sure you're typing in RENW addendum A to find that addendum, because there is a WRA addendum as well. That's not the one you want, and so forth. So that's how you're going to add the documents that are in the Wisconsin library. Let's see how I click out of this. So I want to let me click. There we go. Okay, so next. The other documents that you're going to need to add are the ABA. So if you don't already have a copy of it saved in your, where is this? Real estate forms. If you don't already have a copy saved in your computer, you can download the copy that's in .loop to your computer, and then you'll have a copy of one to use and to bring into Zipforms. But any PDF that is a Keller-Williams form or not a WB or WRA form, unfortunately, we don't have a library for that in Zipforms, so you're going to have to bring it in, which is why it's super helpful to have these template folders. Because now you don't have to bring it in each time. It will just be there for you. So that is our workaround. So let's bring that one in. Now in our class today, we talked about some of the extra forms that we might be missing that used to be in .loop that maybe you got used to using. There's one that has, it's a KW form. It's for seller improvements. There is an RENW form in this library. It's called RENW Property Improvements, I believe. That form you can use instead of the KW one that you're used to if you want to, but that one is fillable and it allows the sellers to fill that in. So you wouldn't have to add your text fields and things like that. So that one would be easy to use. The one that we're really struggling with to find an option for is a closing cost sheet. We don't have access, the RENW, WB, there is no real closing estimate form. So unfortunately at this time, we don't have anything, but we'll see what we can do about maybe talking to Amy with the forms committee and potentially seeing if they would be willing to create one for the WRA or RENW. So to be continued on that. The other forms, if there are any other forms that maybe you're used to using and you can't use in here, that isn't easy to use, I'm sorry, it's not user-friendly in Zipforms because it has a bunch of fields to fill out, then I recommend contacting me and I can help you come up with a solution for that. But we will still have access to DocuSign, so maybe it's using DocuSign for that specific form if it's one that you use often. The addendum AC, there is a different workaround for that. That was a Keller-Williams form. Amy actually created that with an attorney, I believe, or with the WRA or the legal hotline, I believe. She created that one. So there is a workaround for that one as well, and we'll talk about that probably in next week's class and how to do your addendum AC like you're used to. Okay, so once you have all of the documents in here that you want, now you're going to go back through each document and fill in the things that you want filled in and that you're commonly using. So for instance, I always work as a buyer's agent. I think it's few and far between that I don't. So I want that one stricken for myself. And if that ever changes, I can unstrike it. It's not a problem. but or I could grab a new one if I need to. But for the most part, very random, very few and far between that I don't work as buyer's agent. And then you can fill out whatever else you're used to filling out in here that, maybe you have for the buyer agency, 2.1% of purchase price or MLS offered compensation, 3% for FSBOs. That's something that's a commonly used phrase that's really long. You can fill that in your buyer agency agreement, whatever you want to do to customize it to your business. Okay, so let's pretend we're all done with our documents. When you're creating templates, the next template that you create, so you want to go start to finish and finish one whole template, because this is the easy button. When I go to, let's go back to the template homepage. When I go to create the next template, so let's say now I want to create offer condo, or maybe not condo, maybe let's see. Let's say I'm going to create listing residential pre-1978. So this would be the listing folder that has all of my addendum S in it. So the addendum S packet and the addendum S. The reason I like to do this post-1978, pre-1978 is it's a reminder for me of, oh yeah, this house was built at this year, so I need to use this template. It's a good reminder for you to keep your addendum S in there. So what you're going to do is you're going to click New for a new template. You're going to go to New Listing, and then we'll say Offer Residential pre-1978. Okay, so then you're going to click Residential, but then you're going to come down to Select Template, and you're going to click Residential. And what that's going to do is it's going to drag in all of the documents that you've already edited and brought in for your listing residential here. Now, if there's a form in this folder that you don't want in the other one, you can delete it now and you can customize it. So if you are doing a bunch of different offer ones, and you don't want to have to keep browsing for your ABA or any of the other standard forms that you brought in, you can, use that template and then delete what you want. So that's kind of a quick tutorial on that. One of the main questions that came up, and I kind of addressed it in the previous video, but one of the big questions that came up was, when you go into the real estate condition report, from our view as an agent, it doesn't look like it's filled in. We have the ability to fill in this top part for our client, but we can't fill in any of these boxes. And obviously we've all been trained and know that we're not allowed to do that for sellers. What I will assure you is when you go to sign these documents, I'll show you how we're going to do this. Let's go to a transaction. Go to my test one. We'll go to Documents. Okay, so if I scroll down, let's go to the Real Estate Condition Report. Like I said, none of the fields populate in here. If you go to e-sign, now I can click on, these are the ones that are already e-signed, new. Okay, so let's say I want the real estate condition report. The addendum S and the property improvements, those are very similar in that it doesn't allow real estate